My ex's mom whispered, "Take me somewhere private. I need to tell you the truth." The moment she grabbed my sleeve, the noise of the crowded charity fundraiser seemed to disappear. Her hands trembled, her eyes were filled with fear, and her voice was barely louder than a breath. She leaned closer and whispered, "Take me somewhere private. I need to tell you the truth." In that single moment, years of painful memories came rushing back. She was the mother of the woman who had broken my heart without explanation, and after 3 years of silence, she looked as though she had been carrying a burden too heavy for anyone to bear. I had no idea that the next hour would completely change the way I remembered my past. Before we continue, if you believe kindness deserves a second chance, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Kindness Forever. Your support helps these heartfelt stories reach more people around the world. It was a bright spring afternoon, and sunlight poured through the large windows of the community center where volunteers had gathered to organize donations for struggling families. I had spent the last few years rebuilding my life after a painful breakup. Instead of holding on to bitterness, I poured my energy into helping others. That was why I was there that day, sorting food boxes and greeting visitors with a smile. I never expected my past to walk through those doors. Her name was Marisol, and although age had added silver to her hair, kindness still shined through her tired eyes. She asked if we could step outside into the quiet garden behind the building. Birds sang from nearby trees while children laughed in the distance, yet there was a sadness around her that made the beautiful afternoon feel strangely heavy. She stood silently for several moments before finally gathering the courage to tell me why she had come. She explained that her daughter had never stopped caring about me, despite how things had ended. Years earlier, I believed I had simply been abandoned. One day she stopped answering calls, returned every gift I had given her, and disappeared from my life without a single explanation. I spent months wondering what I had done wrong. My confidence collapsed, and I questioned every memory we had shared. According to Marisol, however, the truth was far different from what I had believed. Only weeks before our planned engagement, doctors had discovered that her daughter was suffering from a serious illness that required immediate treatment. She refused to let me sacrifice my future by staying beside someone who believed she might not survive. She pushed me away on purpose, convincing herself that making me hate her would spare me from years of pain. Marisol admitted that she had respected her daughter's decision then, but every day afterward she regretted remaining silent. She had carried that secret for years, and the weight of it had become unbearable. As the afternoon sunlight filtered through the trees, I felt every emotion imaginable. Anger slowly gave way to confusion, then sorrow, and finally compassion. For years I had blamed someone who had actually been trying, in her own heartbreaking way, to protect me. Life is rarely as simple as it appears from the outside. Sometimes people leave not because they stop loving us, but because fear convinces them they are doing the right thing. Marisol then reached into her handbag and handed me a worn envelope. Inside were letters written years ago but never mailed. Every page described hope, regret, and countless prayers for my happiness. Reading those words felt like hearing a voice that had been silent for far too long. Tears blurred my vision as I realized that the story I had told myself for years had never been the complete truth. She also revealed something unexpected. Her daughter had recovered after a long battle and was now quietly volunteering at a children's rehabilitation center several towns away. She had dedicated her life to helping families facing the same fears she once experienced. She still believed I deserved a better life than the one she thought she could offer, so she never tried to contact me again. That evening I drove home beneath the golden daylight, reflecting on everything I had learned. I realized forgiveness is not about pretending the pain never happened. It is about refusing to let pain become the final chapter of your life. The truth had arrived years late, but it still had the power to heal wounds I believed would never disappear. Several weeks later I visited the rehabilitation center, not to reclaim the past, but simply to thank the people who had unknowingly taught me the value of compassion. I spent the day helping children paint colorful murals across the building's walls. Their laughter echoed through the bright halls, reminding me that hope often grows in places where suffering once lived. Whether old relationships return or remain memories, kindness always creates something beautiful from brokenness. As I prepared to leave, I looked around at the smiling families and understood that life had given every one of us a second chance, not necessarily to relive yesterday, but to become better people today. The bitterness I had carried for years quietly disappeared, replaced by gratitude for lessons that could never have been learned any other way. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a heartfelt comment, share it with someone who may need encouragement, and subscribe to Kindness Forever so together we can spread kindness one story at a time. Special request, comment kindness always finds the truth if you believe forgiveness can heal even the deepest wounds. As the sun slowly settled beyond the horizon, I realized that the greatest gift we can offer one another is not perfection but understanding. Some truths arrive late, some apologies are whispered instead of shouted, and some broken hearts are healed not by turning back time but by choosing compassion over resentment. That quiet afternoon reminded me that kindness never truly disappears. It waits patiently for the right moment to change someone's life forever.